Y'all know what's going on. It's time for another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and I got my partner, Micah, here. This is the last show that we're going to be doing this semester for our Utah students. I can't wait until the next one, and so we can continue to do these things for y'all. But we left out something in the last episode that was requested of us. They wanted to hear some stuff about some recipes that we might have on the food that we make and all of that old kind of stuff, right? So we're going to be sharing a few recipes with y'all so that you can maybe try it out for yourself out there, right? But Michael, before we get started, you got anything you want to say to our Utah students out there?
Well, to those graduating, congrats. Thanks for the questions and keeping us busy with the questions, and keep them coming, Professor McKenzie. I hope we get them. We're here for you every semester.
Absolutely, right? So let's just get to it, right? What are some of your favorite meals to prepare in here, Michael?
I gotta say the guy showed me how to make a casserole from Doritos and tuna. Okay. Now don't forget, you're gonna have to describe the whole process here. Well, I didn't. When he showed it, I was like this. You crush up the Doritos.
Okay. Is this a big bag or a small bag?
Big bag of Doritos. A big bag of Doritos for us.
Okay.
Crushed it up and layered it. Like you put a layer of Doritos at the bottom of the bowl.
Okay.
Some tuna.
On top of it.
On top of that, some cheese.
On top of the tuna.
On top of the tuna. And jalapenos. And then do another layer. Just keep layering it like that.
Keep layering it with the Doritos.
Keep layering it the same way. The same way.
The Doritos, the tuna, cheese, jalapeno.
Yeah.
Doritos, tuna, cheese, jalapeno.
Until you run out of chips.
Okay.
Then you take some milk, a cup of milk, and a cup of water with the season pack. The season in there. Mm-hmm. Pour it over top of it. Pour both cups over top of it. Put it in the microwave. Mm-hmm. Let it cook for about 6 minutes. Mm-hmm. And it'll just harden up. It won't be hard, but it makes the layers.
Layers, yeah, like a lasagna.
Yeah.
That sounds like the potato chip bowl that we do. You can put potato chips on the bottom.
Just about the same thing.
Yeah,
but the Doritos make like a crust.
Absolutely.
The Doritos make it good.
Well, one of my favorites it's simple. It's very simple. It's like a tuna casserole, right? I take I give me some onions every now and then. We get some onions out of the kitchen. We ain't supposed to be doing that, but every now and then they come through. So I'm just keeping it 100 with y'all. We get the onions out of the kitchen. We dice them up real good. And then you take the hot pot, right? When we had a hot pot at that time, we don't have them now. You take the hot pot, put some butter in the bottom of it. You take the butter, and then you add the onions to it, and you put some black pepper in it, and you let it saute. Mm-hmm. While it's in there on the bottom. You keep flipping it and stirring it while it's on the bottom. I guess you could do that out there in a skillet, you know what I'm saying, or a crock pot or something like that. You let the onions saute real good, and then you take the noodle. I took the noodle, ramen noodle, crunch it up, and you pour the noodle right over the top of it. Now you got a cup of water, and you don't want to have a lot of water in it, right? Because you want it to mix real good with the onions and the butter, right? So you pour down the water into it, and you stir it, and you want to mix it good because you don't want the water sitting over the top of it. You know what I'm saying? So once you get it all nice and soft, let's say like that, cooked up, then you take the tuna and put it on the top, and you flip it real good, right? Now you add a little bit more water because you want it to soak into it, and then you just put the lid on the hot pot and let it cook. And you're gonna know when it's done. That smell. It's got this unique smell. It's like these onions they've mixed with the tuna, and there's something about that ramen noodle. Now I don't really use the seasoning pack from the ramen noodles because there's too much sodium in there. You need to be watching that while you're young, but you can use some pepper or something like that if you want to, right? But that is one of my favorite meals. It's tuna casserole.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, there are so many different recipes, because it's. I've seen some real good stuff. I mean, most of the stuff that you're getting out there, we just making a different version of it.
Yeah, that's all it is. Like pizza.
Pizza, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I use the tortilla wraps, right?
Yeah.
You put one of the wraps in the middle, right? Put leave it whole, put it in the middle of the plate, and then you place a tortilla wrap all the way around it. You know what I'm saying? Till you got your bigger pie. You know what I'm saying? And then you take and you put your pizza sauce on the top of the shells. Now, this is something that I do. This is a trick that you have to do in here. Go ahead and cut the pizza first.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because these tortillas, once it cooks, they're going to be too hard to try to cut afterwards, and you're going to end up knocking all your food off. But anyway, once you get the tortillas laid, you put your pizza sauce on there, you go ahead and cut the shells into the pizza size that you want, and then you start to layer it. After the pizza sauce, you put your cheese. Then after the cheese, you put your pepperonis or the hamburger meat or whatever the case may be that you're going to put on it, right? And then you put your jalapenos on the top, and then you put it in the microwave. You cook it in the microwave for about 3 minutes, take it out, rotate it around, which some people say there's no need to do that, but I do it anyway. It makes me feel like I'm in Italy somewhere. Then I throw it back in the microwave, and I cook it for another 3 to 6 minutes, and then I pull it out.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that pizza be fine now, I'm telling you.
Well, you had it with the Cheez-Its?
But I haven't used the cheeses. I haven't used the cheeses. No,
Cheez-Its with that, or that's a combination.
Yeah, yeah, I hadn't used the cheeses, right? But that's a couple of my favorite recipes. I tell you what I'm gonna do. I'll find some other guys, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure some other guys got way more recipes than me and Michael do. Because I'm, not to say that I'm bragging about anything like that, but mostly when people get to cooking, they'll end up cooking for me. I don't just do a whole lot of cooking. You know, a lot of people come together and try to cook a meal and stuff like that. And I know some guys that really cook, but I don't do a lot of that. I do a lot of eating, but I don't do a lot of cooking. You know what I'm saying? But you got anything else you want to add to that, Michael?
You know, I think the easiest one to make are tuna patties, though. You know, like would be a salmon patty.
Man, I forgot all about those.
It'd be the easiest one to make, and it's the same recipe that you use on the street. Yeah. Except for the eggs, you just use the mayonnaise to hold it together.
That's right. Use the mayonnaise, right? Yeah. But do you mix, when you make your tuna patties, do you just use the tuna, or do you add like summer sauces to it?
No,
you don't put no summer sauce. You gotta have some grease.
You mess it up. The greases are in the chips. When you put the potato chips in there.
Yeah, the potato chips.
The potato chips make the grease.
So let me explain this stuff. You take your tuna, you pour your tuna in a bowl, and you get some plain, or most people use sour cream and onion.
Sour cream, yeah.
Get your sour cream and onion potato chips, crunch them up real fine, pour them in the bowl, get you some onion, you know, and put that in there, and you mix it up. You know what I'm saying? How you
Chunks of cheese.
Yeah, chunk that cheese in there too. And just mix it up and make out your tuna balls and pat them out to the, you know, how you like them. And then you can season them. I like putting pepper on my food. I don't use a lot of salt, blood pressure problems. So I take the pepper and put it on both sides, and then you put it in that microwave. You gotta watch it while it's cooking. Now, you know, like you say, you put that mayonnaise on it or whatever, and it'll help cook it too. But you gotta watch it while it's cooking, because you don't want it to get too hard, because it'll get real hard. Then you pull that thing out and you ready to roll. Then you get you some mashed potatoes. Listen to me. Yeah. Well, we use instant potatoes. We got Idaho potatoes and
you gotta put the mac and cheese with it though.
Well, sometimes it just depends. You know, that's a lot. That's a whole lot right there. That's a good meal too. But yeah, you put that macaroni and cheese with it. But other than that, y'all, that's about it that we have on the meals and stuff like that, right? If you have any questions about anything, we'll wait to hear from you. If you don't, I know that you're not supposed to contact us, so I'm pretty sure that we won't hear from anybody. But it's really been a pleasure doing this for y'all. And like Michael said at the beginning, I really look forward to the next semester and hearing from some of the other students. And thank you, Doc, you know what I'm saying, for all the things that you do for us and those students out there. We really appreciate you. You got anything else you want to add, Mike?
That's good to go.
Dig that. This has been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, here with Michael again. Peace, y'all. That's it. I wonder what Annie Wannie wanted.
I'm getting so tired.